All right, good evening, everyone. So, literally, I just got in my office just about time. Actually, not about time, about 3 minutes late. But anyway, thank you so much for making time to be here tonight. And it's our midweek market analysis, or it's Wednesday, and it has been a wonderful week so far for us. So let's see what's going on in the markets. There are good and not so good things happening, especially as far as news is concerned. Um, what do you call this? The former OPEC Secretary General, Dr. Barkimdo, died at the age of 63 today. Our deepest condolences to the family. And of course, we are into looking what crude is going or doing so far after that drop last night. So, sige, lipat na tayo sa chart. Tingnan natin kung anong nangyayari. Alright? Okay. So, obviously, we're looking at crude right away. Okay? So, sabi nga natin, yeah, this downtrend that we have been seeing, medyo nawawala yung momentum, right? In fact, nag-gain ng momentum at the beginning of the week, right? Pero yun na nga, finally has broken this diagonal floor or support that we have, right? So finally, after few attempts since March, nagbe-break niya na yung level na yon. Pero nga, sabi din sa news today, if you guys are watching, I've been not so closely checking crude, but as the price of crude has gone uh, higher, right, since I went back to Zamboanga City, tatandaan ko bumabiyahe kami, it's just 43. Lumapag kami ng Mindanao, it went to 50, right? And few months after, right, it's now at with the rollback yesterday, so it's now back at 89. So just imagine that. So though not closely monitoring it, but I'm every now and then checking it. So as the market, sabi nga nila, sees that the price fell or fall, it was still falling, right, earlier today, but a little bit correction happened, right, after it broke the $100 per barrel mark. Sabi nga, it sparks fears that an economic slowdown, right, will cut demand in petroleum products. But then again, it's still good news for me as this price have gone lower, right? So tingnan natin how it would progress for the rest of the week. Okay, so as far as the downtrend is concerned for crude, that diagonal support level has now been broken, but of course, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a confirmed downtrend already. A pullback, right, is likely to be expected anytime soon, which is already happening actually with this current doji bar. So ang titingnan lang natin ngayon, when we see a doji bar, there's an indecision in the market. So let's see how this pullback is likely to happen. If we look into the fib levels that we have from that beginning, right? So we are now, or just yesterday, it reached or touched the 27.2 extension. So ibig sabihin, kung dito na talaga yung extension na yan, then likely the price will go and reverse back here, right? If not, then we are likely to see for the price to still go much lower at a 61.8 extension. But then again, for every breakout, we would expect, or for me personally, I would expect for a pullback. So most likely, I will wait for trading opportunities once the pullback is visible, right? So that's what's happening with crude. And of course, back to our regular programming on the major currency pairs. So let's look into what's going on with AUD USD after din nung breakout kagabi. Look at that. A little pullback is happening, right? So it looks like we are to adjust the trend line that we have a little bit, right? Extend ko lang ng konti. So ibig sabihin, we're still looking at a downtrend, by the way, right? So kung mapapansin niyo yung swings na yan or waves na yan, we still have slightly lower low from the previous, but for some, they would consider this as a double bottom, which is, yes, definitely reasonable. Kasi hindi naman ganun ka significant yung binaba compared to the last low, right? But obviously, this is not yet a confirmation to celebrate a push on the bullish side. So ibig sabihin, titingnan pa rin natin if the market can break those diagonal and the horizontal resistance. So ibig sabihin, if the expectation is for the price to go up after this double bottom, titingnan natin if the price can break 68.53 or maybe this diagonal trend line from my end, right? So let's see what's going on there. Tingnan natin sa H1 kung may momentum tayo nakikita. EMAs are just about to cross, right? Look at that. If you go and set another trend line here, right? So ibig sabihin ng expectation natin is papunta doon, right? So I don't see any buying opportunities here, not yet on the 1 hourly chart. Let me see on the 15 minutes. The EMAs have not crossed over yet, pero I have some reminders here for myself. As soon as that buy opportunity shows itself, then ibig sabihin I will only buy towards that level right there. That will be my early exit. If it breaks, then we'll have a re-entry somewhere above the 68.53 level. Pero kung hindi naman, ang opposite ang nangyari dito at magtutuloy-tuloy itong breakout, baka biglang magkaroon tayo ng continuation, then let's see how we can reassess our position for the rest of the week. Yeah, so that's the plan for me, or my plan for AUD/USD. Euro/USD with with the news from yesterday as well, where Russia have cut oil supply to Europe, right? I'm not pretty sure, but I think this is that news is the biggest impact or cost, right? This drop for euro yesterday. I'm not sure. I have not checked anything related to euro news aside from earlier today. There were several monetary policy meetings that were published, but then again, nothing so significant aside from that I have read from yesterday. So ibig sabihin, after a breakout, as usual, we will look into the pullback, but still look at that. Price is still dropping on euro USD. So if you guys were in, congratulations. For me personally, I don't have any open positions anymore for today, right? I closed my positions from last night a little bit too early for gold, yeah, which something that we will go back. And yes, thank you, by the way, for the people who messaged me for Monday's market review. I forgot to look into gold. I apologize about that. But yes, we'll go and revisit gold. Thank you very much for reminding me about that. Anyway, Euro USD, eto na nga, breakout na siya. Kung gagamitan po natin ng measuring tool ulit, right? Eto na nga, right? Kung ito yung unang wave natin, papansinin nyo po, right? Or ito yung unang pullback, okay? So ito na yung pinaka-extension. We have recently seen the price broken through a 27.2 extension. So malamang sa malamang baka puntahan niya tong 61.8. If not full extension, dito tayo somewhere at this area magbabantay ng reversal. Okay? It could possibly be in the middle, pero yun na nga. For the people who are trying to look into a chase or what you call this, a re-entry for the same position, like a sell, right? A pullback to the EMA is highly suggested before you get in again, kasi sabi nga dito, we would like to test this to be exact with the price 1.02376, right? Or 0237, right? Hindi natin isasama si Pepet. Alright? So, hanggang dun yung ina-expect natin na pullback to test if this ceiling can really hold as a ceiling or baka false breakout lang to. Okay? So, dito tayo mag-aabang ng ating strong price action or significant price action, however you want to call it, or in other terms, your point of entry. Okay? So, for me personally, I have not been checking the chart all throughout the day. And so, wala rin akong position dyan. Malamang sa malamang kung kukuha man ako, it would be a sell for a continuation, but I would wait for that pullback for a much better entry price, right? Now, if hindi ma-trigger, right, itong short-term sell natin kasi nga nag-breakout na siya sa 27.2 at biglang naging pullback na siya, then naabangan natin ito. The earliest I would see this, right, or the full extension, right, of that move, I would like to see it go back to 1.0377, which is the floor level that we have set at the beginning of the week. Pero yun na nga, binutas niya na yan. So titingnan natin if that full ceiling or resistance right now mag-hold talaga as resistance. If not, then we would expect for the market to go on a bearish move again for, if not next week, continuously the succeeding week. Okay, so my short-term trading plan for this would be to wait for the price to go back to the 27.2 extension, right, to test that resistance, or for the people who's writing this down, or if you can pause the this video, right, the price is 1.0237. Okay, all right, so then again, please remember, right, these levels right here are not guaranteed levels for you to like say na dun talaga siya pupunta, pero these are the levels that we would anticipate for us to get in, right? Kumbaga, in other words, ito yung mga entry points natin na babantayan, possible entry points, I mean. Okay, so abangan lang po natin doon. So sa akin kasi, I'm not a big fan of chasing the price. I'd like to see it settle down a bit for me to go what do you call this, to go for re-entry. But of course, tao lang po tayo. There are some instances that I would like to go and jump in on the trade at market right away if I see there's still room for me to make money, right? Pero kung masyado na pong huli, sabi nga nung kanta is let it go. Right? Hanap tayo ng mas better na entry price. Okay? So, moving on to GBP USD, which is showing the same scenario right here. So, tanggalin ko na lang muna yung zone na yan. Mukhang hindi na talaga niya babalikan. Right? Though may short-term buy tayo doon sa area na yon from last week. So, ngayon, na-break niya na nga itong floor na to. Ang check ko ngayon dapat, right, is hanggang saan pa to pwedeng pumunta. Okay? So, I'm just going back to my line chart right here. So, everyone, ito yung una kong titingnan, yung touch na yon. Medyo conservative tayo ng konti doon. Pero gusto ko makita sa weekly chart, no, kung meron pa ba. Ayun na nga. Doon sa weekly chart, yun yung una nang ibibigay din. Right? So, hindi siya masyadong nag-ano doon. Doon sa pinakailalim. Pero in case lang, just in case the price breaks through, then ibig sabihin, then meron pa tayong zone na abangan na yan. So, for everyone's benefit, kung magtatanong kayo or baka curious kayo anong nangyari dito sa time na to na nag-drop ang price, it is March 2020. So, the obvious answer is when the pandemic was announced, right? Okay, so for every pullback, as mentioned earlier, or sorry, for every breakout, a pullback is expected. So, it would be the same scenario for us here. Tingnan nga natin sa lower time frame. H4 have moved also na. Ganda sana nung pullback natin from the bearish engulfing. Oh, sorry, this is not a bearish engulfing. I apologize. Right, but it looks like, right? So, kung mapapansin nyo lang ito. Kala natin bearish engulfing kasi na-engulf niya to. Pero obviously, by the close price, mukhang hindi eh. Mukhang dito siya galing una, or sorry, mukhang bumaba siya muna tapos umakyat. So, not a valid bearish engulfing for me. But then again, it has broken through the previous bar that touches the EMA. That's a beautiful entry still. Pero medyo late na tayo dyan. Tingnan nga natin kay H1 kung meron pa tayong pwedeng pasukan na trade dyan. Well, this 3-bar pattern right here is so beautiful. Pero yun na nga, sabi ko, malayo nang ginalaw ng market for the whole day. So, ibig sabihin talagang pullback na lang ang iantay natin. Right? Okay, so if you're like me na naging busy for the rest for the whole day, so hindi natin nahuli itong mga ganito, pero anyway, that's a beautiful pullback to watch out for. If you are looking into trade counter trend, I do not strongly suggest counter trend trading. But yes, if you have confidence in your positions that you're taking, yeah, my suggestion lang is to watch out for the touch, or when the price action touches the EMA, it could possibly be the bounce, right? So, meaning it is your possible early exit, or sabihin na natin TP1 if you're not waiting for the price, or if you're actually waiting for the price to hit the 1.1991, right? So, my suggestion there is i-trail stop nyo na lang din, right? So, if you want to know more about trail stop, let me know. Send me a message or in this comment section para I could answer your questions as well if you have questions about trail stop. Anyway, moving on to NZD USD. Kung mapapansin nyo, same scenario tayo lahat dito. Ang lakas ni dollar, no? Right? Sabi, may post nga dollar lang daw sa kalam. Right? So, lakas-lakas ni dollar almost across the board, pero I'll give you a little hint. It's not really moving on dollar yen, right? So, pero anyway, I was closely looking into dollar yen since last night, pero yun na nga, tinulog ko na lang, ayaw niya namang gumalaw. Right? Pero anyway, yep, NZD USD, bumagsak na nga from yesterday yun, breakout, tingnan natin. eto. Pero if you guys were able to go and have a sell from this beautiful shooting star or high test bar, I hope you were able to take the money as the pullback is happening now. So sabi nga natin, every breakout must expect for a pullback, right? The H4 chart is showing good setup, but I'm not seeing the best entry level that I can find so far, but something that I would like to really monitor for the rest of the evening, right? H1 is not really in good shape for neither a buy or a sell, both with the 15-minute chart, but I'm very interested on what's going to happen on the H4 chart. So definitely NZD USD is on my watch list tonight for a sell, right? For a sell. Pag hindi naman yan nangyari yung gusto kong sell, then ibig sabihin I need to wait for this level to be touched by the price, then saka tayo maghahanap ng sell. Okay? So yan po ang ating plan for NZD USD. USD CAD, ito niloloko tayo nung symmetrical triangle na yan. Tanggalin na nga natin yan. Akala natin symmetrical triangle. Una, nag-false breakout siya doon. Tapos kahapon, nag-false breakout na naman siya doon. Ngayon, bumalik na naman siya sa resistance. Right? So, wala tayong magagawa. Talagang lumakas si dollar nga. Right? At yun. For the lack of better term or words, di nilampaso niya si Canadian dollar doon. Umakit ng about, right? 130, 135-ish something. Pag kinount natin yung from high to low or low to high, abot yan ng mga 240 pips for the whole day. Pero yung from open lang to it's like 170 max ata, right? Somewhere. All right, but anyway, we're back at the ceiling. So tingnan natin ngayon. Ayun, meron ng konting rejection na nangyayari sa daily chart. But what we're seeing on the 4-hourly chart is a bit of consolidation. So I would say there's a little bit of indecision here. But with every consolidation, right, as I have seen in the past, is a break to continue the previous trend, right? So, ganun yung usually na nakikita ko. So, ibig sabihin, titingnan natin kung ano ba yung trend niya ng huli. So, may nakikita ba tayong clear na trend dito? Medyo hindi eh. Hindi siya clear uptrend though our EMAs are pointing upwards. Then, at the same time, the resistance is becoming my primary reason for this consolidation or indecision. So, if it would be a breakout, then I would love to see this happen before I go buy again. But my initial bias on this one would be still a sell, right? But I'm curious on how the stochastic oscillator would look like. Let me just add that here very quickly. Right, okay, it's touching the overbought level. So yeah, very good chance coming from your RSI then. Medyo, yep. Galing na nga siya doon. Interesting. Kasi galing na siya doon, then bumababa si RSI mo, pero nandito pa rin si price. So, a big consolidation, a serious consolidation is happening on the 4-hourly chart. So, hanap tayo ng very good reason to get in for a sell here, right? H1, I don't think it's ready, right? There's still levels here for the 15-minute chart to go and break. Yep, our intraday low is at 1.3014. So tingnan natin, it's touching that level now. If it can break through that, I would love to be on a sell on this one. Pero pag hindi naman, maganda pa rin yung buy setup niya dito. Nga lang, aabangan natin tong resistance at 1.3042. So either way, we have a trading plan there. So ibig sabihin, if the price goes lower than this intraday low, there's a very good chance or a likelihood for the price to continue, right? And if not, etong consolidation na to mag-break on the upside or the bullish side, then saka tayo magbabay doon, right? So either on the 1-hourly chart or the 15 minutes will be my early entry. H4, not really. But for D1, it really looks like it's gonna go for that correction. Pero tingnan natin, right? Mas maganda, sana, kung gagawin niya ito ng katulad nung last pattern. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, right? Kung sakasakali mang napansin nyo rin ito, right? This is no longer even equal to the last low. So, ibig sabihin, by the looks of it, buyers are really gaining momentum in this area. So, it won't be surprising to see if the buyers can break through the 1.3042 ceiling this time, right? After 2 months of trying, right? Early July pa lang nag-attempt na siya. Pero of course, sabi nga natin, right? That's still a resistance to respect. Then, if I am buying or if I am a buyer, I would like to see a breakout, then a pullback, then I'll take it from there, right? So yun yung magiging plan ko for USD CAD. USD CHF for our trade on Monday. Happily that we can see that the price went through the 2:1 level and mine was close at the 1:1. Hindi tayo nakapag-trail stop dyan. In fact, kanina ko lang na-realize na ako nga, no, na sana nakapag-trail stop ako dito. Pero nag-close kasi to ng, check ba ako ng chart nun? Tanghali ata to nag-close, no? Parang mga ganon. So, hindi rin pala ako nakapag-trail stop. Pero anyway, that's the beauty of having your parameters set, right? Including especially your stop loss na pwede mong iniiwan yung trade mo. So, still, kahit makita man natin na sayang pa rin yung another one. Yeah. Na umakyat doon. Pero profit is profit. We need to celebrate the wins, right? So, ibig sabihin, ang tanong na lang ngayon is, anong pwede natin gawin after that breakout? Since hindi na rin naman ako nakapasok dito sa pullback na to, tanggalin ko lang po ito. Mabilis lang. Okay, and I'd like to see a short-term resistance if it could be something in my way if I get in now. Right? Okay, good. That's good reason not to go in and be excited for a buy right away kasi minsan chine-chase na lang natin yan. And if you can remember from the beginning of our session, that's one reason why I kept my chart as black and white kasi minsan, right, or in the beginning of my journey to becoming the trader that I am today, medyo highly influenced ako by the color. Pag nakakakita ng green, talagang buy agad. Pero ngayon, medyo, right, may ganun pa rin. May ganun pa rin tendencies. Pero, yeah, natuto na tayo, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, mas nakokontrol natin yung sarili natin and we look for a much better setup. Okay? So, the shooting star is being very, very interesting to see here, right? So tingnan natin, the 97.13 is becoming interesting level for us to monitor. So ibig sabihin, I won't go for a long position again for USD CHF, not until that price is broken. But definitely, the 15-minute chart is looking good for that test of this current ceiling. So tingnan natin, if the price will remain above the 97.13, then I would be much interested for another buy position for USD CHF. So abang natin yan. But then of course, sabi nga natin, after a break or after some big moves, right? If not just a break, a swing, right? We would expect for a correction in the market. Okay? So ibig sabihin, hindi naman yan magpapatalo basta-basta ang buyers, right? Or the sellers, right? Kung sakasakaling tawag dito, nag-move si market on certain direction. Talagang magkakaroon dyan ng retest, kumbaga, right? So, jumping onto USD JPY now, sabi ko nga, makikita natin so far with all those USD pairs that we have checked, si USD JPY lang po talagang medyo hindi gumalaw, right? So, ibig sabihin, the yen is remaining to be strong or remains to be strong, right? Not nalalampaso. Hindi siya nalalampaso basta-basta ni dollar yan. But then again, we are still within this range. Okay? So, tingnan natin if there's something else that we can do. But one thing is obvious as what we have seen from yesterday. The recent high is no longer higher than the previous, not even higher than the one before that. So, ibig sabihin, we are seeing slightly, momentum is coming more from the buyer's side, or sorry, yeah, now doon di naman natin nakikita yung momentum from the buyer side. What I'm trying to say is parang bumababa yung momentum ni sellers naman, right? So hindi niya na talagang napupush downwards, pero nga, right, hindi niya rin nahayaan na umakyat pa to mas mataas doon sa initial. So ibig sabihin, I'd like to say this is a familiar pattern to you guys. We have seen this several times during these sessions. So, ibig sabihin, if you are going for short-term trades, then you might want to watch out for this level. But for me, generally, right, I would like to stick on this one. I'm just giving you a different point of view as well, right? Pero I'd like to stick on this one to see how the price can go. Okay? Because if the price can really go back to the 134.78, the sellers could be successful in that. Then, that's where doon ako magbabantay talaga ng mas doon magbibigay ako ng oras talaga na bantayan yung level na yan. Alright? So, tingnan ko lang yung H1, no? Yep, that's a beautiful continuation right there. Look at that downtrend. Beautifully moving in that direction. Pero nga, ito, may pullback na tayo within the 1 hourly period. Okay, nagko-correct na siya kagad after that drop. And I just want to say, but this is in 36 minutes pa rin naman, right? There's another mid-impact news, I would say. Oh yeah, in about a minute. There is someone from the FOMC that will be speaking, right? So let's see if that is actually what this price is doing. Or I mean, the cost of this price movement, di ba? Baka ito yung nagiging dahilan kung bakit siya nagiging ganyan, at least within that hour. Tingnan natin, right? Pero of course, by the way, reminders, right? This week is our non-farm payroll week. So, tingnan natin din si dollar, right? Okie dokie dokie dokes. Interesting, interesting. So, if I'm gonna take a short-term trade on this one, malamang sa malamang, it will be a sell towards that floor level, which is coming from, let's say, if it touched the EMA somewhere here, a decent 40 pipper move, plus minus the spread, and where you would like to put the price action, or sorry, the entry price. So, yun na nga. If I can collect somewhere at 35 to 40 pips, then that will be reasonable, a reasonable trade for the evening, right? Bukod dyan, I don't want to look into the buy yet, not until the price goes above the floor level. Thanks, Alexa. Right, moving on to gold. Ito nga, na-miss natin. Look at that beautiful drop from yesterday, and lovely that we were able to catch part of it. Yun na nga, maaga po tayo nag-exit dyan, right? Yun lang yung masaklap doon. Maaga po tayo nag-exit dyan, right? So, nag-exit tayo somewhere at this level. Yun na nga. Ito po, dito po ako somewhere this level nag-exit. Tapos, few hours after, an hour lang siguro naman kung bibilangin ko. Yun na nga, 4 bars yun. An hour after, then the price drop. Pero hindi na po ako nakapasok ulit. Anyway, profit is profit. Pero kung lagi ko siyang titingnan, parang, bakit ba kasi nag-early exit ka? Kahit hanggang dito na lang sa floor. Well, ang sa akin lang naman po ay sinaabangan ko siyang mag-pull. Ito na yung extension niya kasi. So, tama lang din naman nag-exit ako doon. Yun naman yung kinasaya ko bago ako nag-log out. Pero yun pala is magda-drop na siya. Pero mas masakit po yun kung hindi pa ako nag-log out, no? At nakikita kong nagda-drop tapos in-exit ko na yung sell. Diba? Yun yung... But anyway, learn to count your blessings, diba? Right? So, anyway, ang tanong ngayon is, kailan tayo papasok ulit? Right? Kay gold. So, tingnan natin. Sandali lang po. Balikan natin sa H4, hindi pa rin talaga siya nagpo-pull back. So, ito yung mga scenario na hindi talaga ideal to trend the correction or trade the correction. There are some scenarios, yes, nakakahuli tayo dyan, pero in some cases, after some big drops, nagkakaroon ng consolidation na ganito. And eventually, right, yung consolidation, sabi ko nga kanina, will continue, right, the previous trend, which is, again, in this looks, nagiging downtrend, right? So, pansinin nyo to. Big move, consolidate. Tinuloy niya yung mas malaking, tinuloy niya yung current na trend. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not seeing good entry points right here, not even on the 15-minute chart, though it's touching the EMAs now, but sabi nga nila, be fearful if everyone is greedy, and be greedy if everyone is fearful. So right now, I'd like to play the fearful card as I see everyone is trying to go and chase this move. Then I would like to see where I can get in when, right, everyone, okay, becomes fearful, then that's the time we get in, right? Hanap tayo ng mas magandang setup. Okay, so good news for the people who are holding on to your Bitcoins, right? Ito na nga, hindi na siya, I mean, nagstay below dun sa level na yon, sa 19,000, na break niya na yon. At back to 20,000 level. Ito na ba yung pinaka-antay-antay ng ating mga cryptocurrency traders na mag-reverse na si market, right? Tingnan natin, right? For the people who have requested to include this, thank you so much for requesting that. I have now a view of the cryptocurrency as well. Pero sabi ko nga, I'm applying the same knowledge that I have on the currency market, and it doesn't necessarily mean that these analyses are things that you should follow. As always take this information that we have been discussing for the longest time with a grain of salt, and this should not be taken as an investment advice. All right, please apply trader's discretion. Okay, pero eto na, sa nakikita natin, ang question ko is, eto na ba yung pinaka-antay-antay natin, or for specifically the cryptocurrency traders? We would love to see that move there. So, to happen. Kung sino man yung mga nabaon dito ng konti, right? Hopefully, right? Makabawi-bawi na po. Okay? So, that's it for our Wednesday market review, everyone. Thank you so much again. If you have some questions, some clarifications, or even suggestions, right? I would love to hear from you. And once again, thank you so much for your very supportive yeah, your strong support, right, to keep this channel strong as well, right? So ibig sabihin, I'll see you guys on Friday for end of week market analysis. Let me remind you, create a trading plan and trade your plan, not someone else's plan. And as always, may the pips be with everyone. Have a wonderful week ahead. I'll see you Friday. Charts up 8:30. Bye for now. Cheers.